Game of the Year is coming up, and there has been a lot of discussions as to which game would win, obviously. One of these games is, to absolutely no one's surprise, Silksong, a game that crashed multiple stores on release and forced other games to reschedule release dates so they wouldn't be dominated by it. A pretty popular game, to say the least. But I didn't play it yet, which was mildly embarrassing considering I was quite an avid Hollow Knight fan. But obviously, all the hype and FOMO caused me to fold, and I did eventually play it. And it was absolutely beautiful. One of the best games to come out this year. Let me walk you through my experience and show you the beauty of this game and why I, among millions of others, believe this will be Game of the Year. If you don't know who Hornet is, she's basically this cool character in the original game and also the main character of Silksong. The game begins with Hornet captured in this magic cage thing being carried by these dudes, when a tiny butterfly causes the magic of the cage to be removed, allowing Hornet to break free. But all that fall damage does severe brain damage, and now we're lost in this pretty large place. I play as Hornet and decided to do the best possible thing to do in such a situation. Just kind of run around aimlessly killing randoms and explore here and there. Which is what I was doing until I found Chakra, who thinks I'm a child, sells me some maps. Now I was exploring with purpose. I found a bunch of cool stuff while exploring with purpose. One of which was this, the Silk Spear, which basically does this. Now this is where things get interesting. I found this beast tied up in silk, and I could free him using the Silk Spear, starting a boss fight. The boss had 3 main attacks: dive, rush, and this bell throw. And you can counter all 3, but messing up while countering does 2 masks of damage. This becomes a problem considering Hornet's very unusual attack set and the diagonal pogo, because of which it took me 3 hours of suffering to my absolute luck finally outlast the beast and defeat it. I then woke up in this place, and upon climbing up I hear this voice calling me to give me the Silk Heart, which does this basically. Upon waking up, I was greeted by the beast, who was now tamed and now functions as a fast travel and a pet. This is why I love this game already. Defeating the Bell Beast unlocks this area, which was previously locked. And while trying to explore this cave, I got manhandled by this little bug and died. And in my attempt to retrieve the money, I died, losing all my cash. That is not the only unfortunate thing that happens here. No, I also found these, which are the best and absolute worst parts of this game. If you're good and can easily land parkour, this is very satisfying. But as you can see here, that is not a term used to define me. See, I have reinvented the term trash. So these flowers have become the bane of my existence, causing me so much suffering, not only now, but in later parts of the game too. Upon further exploration, I went down to this lava-filled place where I found this super annoying flying guy who dropped some pretty good cash. So I moved forward to find his buddy, who also dropped some pretty good cash. So I kept moving forward and entered this area called Deep Docks, which is basically this very large lava-filled forgery plus minery. Oh, that's a real word. I climbed around this pretty big building and benched. Then I found Chakra, who sold me the map of the place, and we talked about how this place is quite big, but what lies ahead on the journey is probably much larger. I also found the Bell Beast, so it started to feel like home. I mainly did some exploration and fencing, basically, and I had 3 big finds. 1 this gauntlet of enemies which were challenging but really fun, to these super annoying slug things. While climbing down this area, they were very easy to dodge, but while climbing back up, they were a huge headache, causing me multiple deaths. It took nearly forever to try and kill. And 3. This icon on the map. The last time I saw this icon, I got a very neat silk ability, so I really wanted to get it this time, but I wasn't able to get there from deep docks, which meant I had to travel a new route through a new area. After planning, thinking, I decided to go there through the marrow and found this new area. I went forwards and was met by this guy guarding the door. And I cannot put into words how difficult this boss is to defeat. Everyone who's played this game will attest to that this is a very difficult mini-boss. He has 3 attacks: a dive attack, slice attack, and underground attack, for which you must have perfectly timed, perfectly directed dodges. Otherwise, you lose 2 masks, dying very quickly. It took me a full day, I kid you not, a full day of constant suffering and learning and trying, but I could just not beat him. And then I even considered giving up at one point, but I decided to make my way back and give it one last try. Came into the room and spammed slices and dodged these 2 hits, but missed this one. He then cornered me and hit me with this very heavy attack, almost killing me. But I created this opening to heal back up. He began increasing the gap between us, making it hard to dodge. But in the end, I managed to get a hang of my heals and close the gap between us, allowing me to finish this fight desperately. Now, all of this allowed me entrance to hell. There are no other words fit for describing this place. Let me give you an example. I was curious as to what was on this block above me, and while trying to get a closer look, I got hit with this very nasty trap. Or when I tried to fight this guy, but I guess retreating was not an option because this happened. There are traps, spikes, these, and aggro enemies everywhere, and no benches. Call it skill issue all you want, but you have to admit, in the beginning, this place is very hard to get to. I then came across this gauntlet, which has caused me immense PTSD. I first had to fight this guy, then Chakra pulls up to help me fight the others, but he is half the problem because I can't see anything while he's jumping around mindlessly, causing me to die. The gauntlet itself wasn't that big of a problem. It was this walkback where I had to dodge past thousands of enemies and spikes and parkour over these, my arch enemy. Let me show you a clip of this. You'll understand. I did this so many times that it started to get imprinted into my muscle memory, and I was slowly making some progress, but also messing up a lot. Until this one time where I managed to successfully cross the walkback and even beat the first guy. Then everything clicked, and I got this banger clip. I then got some rose beads and bought the map from Chakra, allowing me to find a bench and eventually find the icon. And I got this very cool dash ability. That's as far as I'm gonna play for this video. There's still a lot more to this game, and even in the part I've played, there's still a lot that I didn't show you. And even the story is really interesting. If you've watched up to this far, and I really recommend that you play Silksong, and I believe that Silksong will definitely be Game of the Year. If you enjoyed this video and want to watch more Silksong content, let me know too. Till then, you can watch this video on screen. That's all for this one. Now, scram, skedaddle.